It's gonna be a murder scene wherever I'm at, bitch.
The footage of NBA YoungBoy going live.
This was the guy that allegedly, according to this story, J Prince Jr. tells Ben 10, go snatch his chain. They're in the same place eating. Listen, unfortunately, niggas lose their lives. Niggas go to jail, usually over a girl. And, you know, obviously, if you ask him, they'll be like, we ain't beefing over no girl, man. You started disrespecting me.
It's killing. Catch a water shot for any reason. Yeah. It's gonna be a murder scene wherever I'm at, bitch.
Here is the full combined rewritten script. All parts merged without piece labels. The footage of NBA YoungBoy jumping on live right after NBA Ben 10 got shot didn't just spread. It exploded everywhere at once. At first, people thought it was just another moment chasing attention. But things flipped real fast as the situation started looking serious and messy in seconds. Now everybody's locked in on the same question.
J Prince Jr.'s, you know, there's that video of J Prince Jr. walking into the club, and it's like he was like an alien just arrived on Earth.
What actually went down? The live that basically took over the internet on April 13th, 2026 had clips popping up all over X, Instagram, and YouTube like wildfire. The videos showed someone believed to be YoungBoy on Instagram Live, looking emotional, even tearing up, reacting to news about his longtime associate, NBA Ben 10, getting shot in Houston. Within hours, the clips were everywhere, spreading faster than anyone could keep up with it. YoungBoy's name started trending heavy across every platform, no slowing it down. Comment sections were flooded, people typing his name in all caps like they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Reaction channels wasted no time, grabbing the footage and reposting it instantly. Before the original live could even fully circulate, clips were already going viral, showing someone who looked like YoungBoy speaking straight into the camera with intense energy. His voice sounded raised, his face full of emotion, and what was being said had people hitting screenshot quick, no context needed. Lines tied to him in those clips included statements like, "I'm going to war with the whole Detroit. I ain't dropped a bag since Vaughn got handled. We finished smoke you JRAS, and I've been riding around here for 3 days." Other versions of those clips started popping up, and the claims got even more intense.
Supposedly, this guy got around to getting his hand on a pistol, which is kind of crazy. They're in Texas.
Some lines were saying Ben 10 might never walk again, while others talked about 4KT making the whole city feel pain. The tone across these edits felt heavy, almost like things were escalating fast and people couldn't look away. One clip in particular, posted by the account Observat on X, pulled in millions of views on its own. That post went live around April 13th, 2026, and it didn't stop there. Re-uploads across YouTube and Instagram stacked even more millions on top, turning the situation into a full-blown viral storm. Every comment section was packed with reactions, people going back and forth about the idea of YoungBoy calling out an entire city. The name that kept showing up next to his was Allstar Jr., a Detroit rapper who, based on what was spreading online at the time, was being linked to the shooting itself. That incident had already put NBA Ben 10 in a Houston hospital back on April 8th, 2026. But as the clips spread, his condition was still unclear to most people online. Early reports described him as being in critical condition, while other posts made even more extreme claims saying he was paralyzed or that he had died twice during surgery. All those rumors mixed with the viral clips created non-stop noise online, making it hard to tell what was real. Most reaction pages were pushing the same angle, saying YoungBoy had lost control, gone live, and was declaring war while calling out Detroit and mentioning Allstar Jr. directly. He was also calling out...
Now, Allstar Jr. popped online, and he said, "I had to shoot to the D and get some new ice, cause my man Ben 10 took some of my stuff to the hospital with him."
OG33, another NBA affiliate, accusing him of leaving the scene when Ben 10 got hit. The story being pushed at that moment painted a wild picture, like YoungBoy had just witnessed everything happen to someone close to him and jumped online instantly to respond in real time. Mainstream outlets that started covering it made one thing clear though: those clips and the declaring war quotes tied to YoungBoy hadn't actually been verified. No official sources connected to him confirmed if the footage was recent, and there was no statement from his team at all. Still, the clips kept spreading like crazy, and every hour that passed without a denial had people online treating it like confirmation. The account Observat kept posting different versions between April 13th and April 14th, each one framing the footage as YoungBoy reacting directly to the shooting, and even responding to alleged trolling from Allstar Jr. after everything went down. Those posts started stacking shares across Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram Reels into millions watching. It looked real enough to believe without question. Meanwhile, Allstar Jr. wasn't exactly staying quiet. During those days between the shooting and the clips blowing up, he had been posting from a jewelry store in Detroit, making comments that referenced Ben 10 and dropping content that people felt was directly tied to the situation. On top of that, he even offered $20,000 to anyone who could complete a challenge he created using Ben 10's name, which only added more attention and tension.
Do y'all remember the nigga who was like, he flexed in front of the door where he shot the dude and he killed the dude or something?
All of that energy, mixed with early reports saying Ben 10 was close to losing his life, had people already on edge. So by the time those YoungBoy clips surfaced, the audience was already locked in emotionally and way more likely to believe every second of it. He was tied to YoungBoy's Never Broke Again circle from the early Baton Rouge days around 2015, known inside 4KT and across YoungBoy's wider fan base. As a day one figure in that inner circle, Ben 10 carried a name people recognized in those spaces. During the incident, Ben 10 was struck multiple times in the arms and legs, while the second victim was hit in the torso. Both were rushed out in critical condition, and by the time they reached the hospital, the scene at Confessions had already turned chaotic. Reports quickly linked J. Prince Jr., son of Rap-A-Lot Records founder J. Prince, to being present at Confessions that night. His name spread fast online, with some claims suggesting he helped direct the confrontation involving Allstar Jr. But J. Prince Jr. publicly denied any involvement in that altercation, saying the online story got it wrong and he would address it further. Later, a breakdown from an academics channel dissected the incident in detail, pulling apart the sequence of events and how everything escalated in seconds. That version of events claiming J. Prince Jr. directed Ben 10 to go after Allstar Jr.'s chain inside the restaurant quickly took over the whole conversation in the hours and days after the shooting. Even while J. Prince Jr. denied it, the narrative kept spreading fast like it had a life of its own. A big reason it stuck so hard was the idea of a deeper personal conflict between J. Prince Jr. and Allstar Jr.
Yeah, BTB Savage, this was bad. BTB Savage did the same shit, and he was flexing and clowning the person he got shot, thinking that it was over with. He did a whole interview
that people said it had been building long before that night at Confessions. This framing shifted things from just random chaos to something more personal and layered, like tensions had been simmering under the surface for months. In that version, the chain wasn't just jewelry at all. It was seen as a symbol of something bigger building between J. Prince Jr. and Allstar Jr. over time. By the time everything reached that Wednesday night inside the restaurant, the situation had already escalated into something violent enough to leave 2 men hospitalized. The way people online told it, the chain dispute became the breaking point in a conflict that had been stacking up for months, and once it snapped, there was no stopping it. In the days right after the shooting, 2 very different stories started clashing online, and it got messy fast. Early social media posts claimed Ben 10 had been shot in the spine, that he was paralyzed, and even that he had flatlined twice. At the same time, people close to him were pushing back in real time. OG Monique, the mother of YoungBoy affiliate OG33, posted on Instagram saying Ben 10 was alert and telling people to stop spreading false stories. Other updates from affiliates also said he was responsive and able to speak. But by that point, the most extreme rumors had already taken over online, and the version with the most shock value kept spreading the fastest. Ben 10 being shot, possibly paralyzed, possibly dying, and YoungBoy supposedly watching it all from a distance. That version of the story spread like wildfire across thousands of posts within just hours of the shooting. It became the emotional fuel that made those YoungBoy live clips hit even harder when they surfaced days later. By that point, a lot of people already believed the absolute worst had happened. The clips of YoungBoy reacting ended up locking that belief in place like an emotional anchor. And under all that viral noise was something deeper.
Now the best way this dance can work
If a nigga shoot your, do the BNT, do the BNT, do the BNT, do the BNT, do the BNT.
A dispute that didn't start at confessions at all. It had roots in a personal conflict, a disrespect claim, and that pride-driven energy that moves through rap and street circles in a way that can escalate fast without warning. The origins of the April 8th shooting reportedly trace back to tension between J. Prince Jr. and Allstar Jr. that had nothing to do with music on the surface. According to multiple rap blogs and viral breakdowns circulating after the shooting, the core of the issue was a woman, specifically Allstar Jr.'s baby mama, who was alleged to have started a relationship with J. Prince Jr. That claim kept repeating across different platforms, reaction pages, and commentary videos. The story being pushed was that J. Prince Jr. got involved with Allstar Jr.'s ex or current partner, and that situation created a deep personal tension that Allstar Jr. felt couldn't just be ignored. It wasn't just seen as personal drama, it was the type of disrespect that people feel forced to answer in public because staying quiet can get interpreted as weakness. According to circulating accounts, Allstar Jr. had reportedly been pressing J. Prince Jr. about the situation before things ever reached confessions. The tension between them was already building up heavy.
$20,000 BNTN challenge, best BNTN challenge, man, that go viral. With me.
Even before anyone stepped into that Upper Kirby restaurant on April 8th, OG33's birthday gathering at the Confessions venue brought everyone into the same space at the same time, and that's where everything lined up in one place. J. Prince Jr. was present, along with Ben 10 and multiple NBA affiliates, and according to the same post-incident accounts, Allstar Jr. was also there that night. It was inside that setting that claims began circulating, saying J. Prince Jr. allegedly singled out Allstar Jr.'s chain during the gathering and directed Ben 10 and others to take it. The alleged instruction was described as direct and specific: go snatch his chain, and people tied to J. Prince Jr. that night reportedly acted on it right after. That image of him entering the venue, scanning the room, and appearing to guide what happened next became a major piece of the online narrative around the shooting. Whether it was the full reality or a shortened version that spread online, it stuck hard. And what followed, based on surveillance references and accounts being shared, was a fast-moving physical confrontation that escalated almost immediately. Multiple men moved toward Allstar Jr., and things snapped into a fight almost instantly. They tried to pull the chain from his neck, but he fought back hard, and the chain didn't come off easily. That detail became important later when people started breaking the story down. His jewelry, based on accounts of those seconds, didn't just slip off. It held firm, and the people trying to take it were pulling against real resistance. In the middle of that chaos, with multiple hands on him and people grabbing and holding on, Allstar Jr. reached for his firearm. Everything was happening fast, crowded, and tense, with no clear break in the confrontation. In Texas, self-defense laws are often described as permissive, and that framing immediately became part of how supporters explained his actions. The narrative repeated online was that he was outnumbered, physically attacked, and having his property taken by force was os, and that drawing his weapon was a response meant to protect himself. What is confirmed is that Allstar Jr. fired multiple times. 2 people were struck by gunfire, including Ben 10 and another man. Ben 10 was hit several times, mainly in the arms and legs, and went down inside the restaurant before being rushed to the hospital, while the second victim was struck in the torso. Both victims were in critical condition when they arrived at the hospital, including OG33, the affiliate whose birthday gathering had brought everyone together in the first place. In the hours right after the shooting, he quickly became another focus of online backlash, with multiple accounts falsely claiming he had left the scene once the violence started and abandoned Ben 10. That narrative spread even faster when posts tied to Allstar Jr. surfaced after the incident, including a hashtag that mocked OG33 for allegedly fleeing. Once that angle hit social media, it started evolving into its own separate storyline, feeding into the larger chaos already surrounding the case. For Jasta J. Prince Jr., the aftermath of Confessions turned into a completely different kind of pressure. He was being named across multiple accounts as the person who allegedly set the chain robbery attempt in motion, with claims that he pointed out Allstar Jr. and instructed Ben 10 to go after the chain. Even though he denied those accusations quickly, the response landed in an environment where many people had already absorbed the story and were treating it as a fatty. He also pointed to a recent ACL surgery as part of his denial, using it to argue against claims that he had been physically involved in any confrontation. noting that his mobility at the time was limited. The mix of unresolved personal tension, a high-profile venue, multiple witnesses, and surveillance footage turned the confessions incident into something that couldn't stay contained or quiet. It was too public, too documented, and tied to too many recognizable names to simply fade away. Started posting straight out of Detroit in the hours and days after, and the whole situation shifted into something else entirely. What people started calling a trolling run blew up fast, and Allstar Jr. was back online within just a day of the shooting, moving like nothing had slowed him down. The first post that really grabbed attention came from inside a jewelry store in Detroit. He dropped a carousel of photos showing himself surrounded by fresh pieces, flashing new ice in every shot. The caption he posted read, "Had to shoot to the D and get new ice cause my man's been 10, took some of my stuff to the hospital with him." The hashtags attached to the post named OG33 directly, and also mocked other people allegedly tied to what happened at confessions. The post landed like a statement, framing everything from his perspective, self-defense, without hesitation. At that point, he had already made his way back to Detroit and was restocking jewelry before Ben 10 was even confirmed stable in the hospital. The tone of the caption came off like a trophy, and for millions of people scrolling through it, that's exactly how it hit. Loud, bold, and unapologetic. Academics broke it down almost immediately as it was unfolding. His reaction captured what a lot of viewers were thinking in real time. A mix of shock and disbelief, along with the sense that something dangerous was playing out publicly with no filter. He also drew a comparison to BTB Savage, pointing to another case where a rapper posted about a shooting afterward and was killed shortly after, adding more tension to how people were interpreting everything happening here. The comparison wasn't random. It carried weight. BTB Savage had been praised in similar online spaces before being killed in a shooting, not long after, making the parallel feel uncomfortable for many watching the situation unfold. Then came the second wave of content from Allstar Jr., and it escalated again. He introduced what he called the Ben 10 Challenge, a dance meant to mimic being shot and collapsing. He posted videos of himself doing it and offered $20,000 for the best submission as it spread across platforms. In the clip introducing it, he broke it down in his own words before describing the mechanics in a way many found graphic and disturbing. The challenge spread instantly across TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. The prize money accelerated it even further, pulling in people who weren't even following the situation before. At the same time, he released a track titled "Expensive Wristwatch," with visuals referencing the Houston incident directly. The song included taunts aimed at Ben 10 J Prince Jr. and NBA affiliates, turning the situation into music content that fueled even more attention online. When a YoungBoy affiliate named Plaque Youngin commented "Walking Dead," Allstar Jr. responded immediately saying, "Well, guess who ain't walking? Welcome to the real world." He also posted direct messages aimed at J Prince Jr., calling him soft and suggesting he would expose him, with captions like, "Thought he was mobbed up till I shot his ass." Academics and other commentators flagged how quickly the tone was escalating into something dangerous, especially given the real-world context surrounding the shooting and the people involved. Still, Allstar Jr. repeatedly defended himself, insisting he did not start the conflict and that he was simply reacting after being attacked, first in a restaurant while trying to eat. Ben 10 was tied to YoungBoy's Never Broke Again circle from the early Baton Rouge days around 2015, known across 4KT and within that wider fan base. As a Day One affiliate, that his name carried weight in those circles. During the incident, he was struck multiple times in the arms and legs, while the second victim was hit in the torso. Both were rushed to the hospital in critical condition, and the bio scene inside confessions was described as chaotic and fast-moving. Reports linked J Prince Jr., son of Rap-A-Lot founder J Prince, to being present that night. His name spread quickly online, but he denied involvement in directing any robbery attempt, saying the narrative was incorrect. Later breakdowns from commentary channels dissected the timeline in detail, showing how quickly everything escalated inside the venue. That version of events, claiming J Prince Jr. directed the chain grab, spread widely, even as he denied it. It became one of the most dominant narratives online. The story also leaned heavily into the idea of a deeper conflict between J Prince Jr. and Allstar Jr. that allegedly existed before confessions. In that framing, the chain represented something bigger than jewelry. It symbolized ongoing tension. But what is confirmed is that the shooting itself escalated inside the venue and left 2 men hospitalized. In the days that followed, early social media claims about Ben 10 being paralyzed, dying, or flatlining twice spread rapidly, but those claims were false. OG Monique, mother of OG33, publicly stated that Ben 10 was alert and urged people to stop spreading misinformation. Other affiliates also confirmed he was responsive and improving, directly contradicting the worst rumors circulating online. Ben 10 was not paralyzed, not on life support, and as of April 15, 2026, he had not died. The viral framing of murder or YoungBoy reacting to a death was not accurate. No verified evidence shows YoungBoy went live and made the specific war declarations being attributed to him, and no authenticated footage confirms him participating in any shooting or retaliation tied to this situation. What exists instead is a viral narrative built from real violence, real hospitalization, real trolling, and a large amount of unverified interpretation layered on top. Allstar Jr.'s trolling was real. The Ben 10 challenge was real. The shooting at Confessions was real and remains under investigation. But many of the viral claims around YoungBoy were not confirmed. And as of this writing, there has been no confirmed physical retaliation tied to YoungBoy or 4KT. What makes this story worth examining is not just the gap between truth and claims, but how quickly that gap became invisible online. The false version spread faster than corrections could even form, shaped by emotion, repost culture, and algorithmic amplification. If you found this breakdown interesting or eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment your thoughts below, and check out more videos on screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.